Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me today, because today is a very special day. It's a day where I'm going to mark something off my list, something that I've wanted to do for years, but have not been able to just because of the remote location of what I'm doing today. If you want to find out what I'm talking about, you're going to have to stick around and watch. I am ready to start my very first visit to Bodey. What you're about to see today are the remains of a very thriving boomtown. I think its most influential years were 1879 to 1881, just to give you a sense at how old this place is. But look behind me here. I'm about to go down and explore this extremely well-preserved relic of the Old West. I'm already amazed at the quantity and quality of these old relics here. Wow, I can tell you right off the bat here that out of every ghost town or historic town that I've ever visited, I've never gotten a sense of what it may have actually looked like in its heyday. And this is it. Everything here is made of wood and left in a state of arrested decay. What that means is they really don't do any restoration on these, and they're just letting the buildings fall prey to nature. But you can see, being in this particular climate, these things have remained extremely well preserved. And this truly is next level stuff. I am already floored by this. Bodey really boomed, sounds like in the late 1800s. There were thousands of people that called Bodey home back then. And this was known to be a pretty rough place. Murders, lawlessness, everything you'd expect in an Old West mining town.
The ghost town of Bodey came into existence around 1859 as a result of the California gold rush. 4 prospectors came to the area and discovered the valley shortly before a severe winter storm took the life of one W.S. Bodey. It is because of him the town earned its namesake. The mines produced several eras of gold production, the last prosperous era occurring around 1877, when an estimated $784,000 of gold and silver was pulled from a vein discovered after a collapse. Both investors and settlers flocked to the region to get in on the riches. By 1878, the population soared to about 10,000 people, leading to what towns in the Old West are often known for: violence. The violence was so prolific that the term "bad men from Bodey" became a known term in the West. During its lifespan, the town had electricity, which was introduced in 1892. Buildings included 65 saloons, a jail, schoolhouse, red light district, hotels, several churches of different denominations, and a railroad, amongst other things. Unfortunately, the load of gold didn't hold out, and people left searching for the next profitable town. And by the time of World War II, the town's population reached 0.
This is off the hook. I am in a real bona fide Old West mining town. Not mucked with too much here, just as it would have looked. This house here is labeled an employee's residence. It's a nice house. I wonder what this employee did, or what types of employees may have lived here. Just look at this map of how many buildings are here. I don't think we're going to get through all this today. These buildings are marked. They were sold out of their normal self-guided, I think, brochure. They gave me a map of the park, but it doesn't really tell me information about the buildings, so we'll just see if we can pick up some info as we go along. Let's go into the number 5 here. I assume this was a home at one point. This is an interesting home. This window out front is really neat. I wonder if this was actually a store, not really a home. I don't know why a home would have a window like that. But let's look at that. I don't know if it's the videos I've watched or my memories of the videos. I didn't recall this town being this extensive and having this many buildings to see. I mean, this truly is a town that time forgot. You can actually see the whole church leaning to one side, and you just smell old wood. All right, looks like we're heading in towards the heart of this town. I see some really awesome looking old buildings. I don't know, I'm really at a loss for what to say, partially because I really didn't get any information that tells me more specifically what these buildings are. I was given this, which has a map. I guess it does kind of say what they are, but it doesn't really go into a lot of detail. It'll just have names of things like so-and-so's house or stuff like that, which doesn't really mean too much to me. There's lots of interesting artifacts strewn all over the place here. Ore carts, old buggies, old mining implements, equipment. It's all over here. And there's just building after building after building. I've never seen a ghost town look this Old West. A lot of the buildings have openings that you can peek your head into, if not walk into. This looks like some kind of workshop or something. An old buggy, it looks like. You can see remnants of old rusted stuff here. I assume stuff they found all over the grounds here. Some kind of a brick building over here. I don't know if that was a vault of some sort. There's a big metal door on it. I don't know if that's the old stamp mill. Up there, they were offering a tour at about 3 o'clock. I'm gonna guess it's about 3 o'clock right now. I don't have time, unfortunately, but that would have been really cool. I could be wrong about that, but I think, yeah, I assume that's what you get the tour of. This was some sort of old general store, it looks like, or some kind of store. We can actually go window shopping here. Take a peek in the window. Oh, wow. Look at this. An old miner's lamp. And looks like an old carbide lamp over here. Other mining equipment. It smells very dusty over here. That is really neat. I see carbide containers. these old gasoline pumps. I'm assuming they're on their original spot. There's a little foundation for those here. Shell gasoline. That is neat. I don't know if that was an old hotel that we're looking at straight ahead, but this just looks to be like a center of commerce here. That looks like a shop. I don't know if it is or not, but certainly you get your gas station and other large buildings over there. I'm wondering if this was like the main drag. Wow, it just keeps going and going on either side. I mean, you got all these shacks over there. I'm gonna guess those were places, residences, sheds, and whatnot. What looks to be like another private home here. Maybe another mercantile store, maybe a barber shop. I see what looks like a barber's pole over there. It's just too much to take in all at once. It's overload in a good way. That looks like a firehouse to me over there, that lone structure. It almost looks like a building. Is that the same style of firehouse that you'd see at Calico Ghost Town? For some reason it looks vaguely familiar. I don't know why. Maybe I was a miner in a past life, or a fireman in a mining town in a past life. I think I guessed right. This does look like a like fireman equipment, old equipment. That must have been rough being a fireman though back in those days. I mean, this place is kindling. It's amazing that it still exists today. Really makes me wonder about other ghost towns that I visited, like Vulture City is one that I've seen. There's very little left today. Originally that was also left in a state of arrested decay. It's since been restored, but yeah, this is just nuts. Look at all the outhouses back here. I don't know, I'm assuming those are the original spots. You can just see the curtains and drapes up in the windows, just kind of in tatters. I peeked into some of these. Are really hard to get video looking in because the glass reflects so much, but there's like a saloon over there inside that brick building behind me. So cool, and all the stuff's still in there. This kind of looks like an old schoolhouse to me. I'm guessing we got looks like a school bell, maybe a flagpole on the roof. Let's peek in and see if my guess is right. All right, what do we got here? I think I was right. I see desks in there. Old desks. And chalkboards. I love looking in the windows of some of these places. I'm really struggling though right now with the way the lighting is out here to get good video of inside, but you can see the dust just collecting over all of the artifacts in there. It truly looks untouched, frozen in time. It's just crazy. Every house you look in here, you can see the wallpaper flaking off the walls. Everything is in there. Look at that casket. This is actually an undertaker's shop, it looks like. That is kind of creepy and cool. One of the most poignant things about this place is just, you don't really need to fill in any of the gaps. You just walk in between the houses here And you can imagine what it would have been like with people living in all these houses. You just feel this energy. You know, like these buildings have a story to tell. It's something it's at one point so far removed from what we know today, but also at the same time familiar. You know, it's really hard sometimes for me to envision the Old West and the late 19th century. I see bits and pieces of it, you know, oftentimes when we go to ghost towns, but never something as complete as this. Not even close. Well, taking one last view of Bodey. I've unfortunately run out of time and need to start heading back to my accommodations for the evening, and I could just use a break. It's been a really busy 24 hours, but this makes me feel whole in a weird way. It does today. It does today. And I think it will for a long time to come.